Welcome to Walkie Talkie Traveller. I'm in Chernivtsi in western Ukraine, and lo and behold, despite being told at reception they had no maps, woohoo! Look what I found just at reception. What can you say about coin apartments and postel that hasn't already been said? And when the camera stops rolling, I start working. Not exactly, but I did do a little bit of research. For one thing, I wanted to know where the heck I was likely to be going today. I also had some questions about things I'd seen previously in Chernivtsi, and they were just making me wonder, you know. You may remember that lady in gold. Oh, Koblianska. I couldn't really tell what the lady's name was. The lady is referred to here as Olha Koblianska. She has a literary and memorial museum to her right here. But for those interested in the feminist writer, apparently mid to late 19th century, yes, this is the same woman. There's the Russian spelling here of Olga rather than the Olha. Oh, she must have lasted quite a long time. She was born in the 1860s and she lived here for the last 13 years of her life by the look of things. Now it's a museum if you're interested in knowing more about her. She wasn't born in Chernivtsi, she was actually born in modern day Romania. She came from a family of artists and literary scholars. She did marry. She did also have a close friendship with a lady. She's considered to be a feminist writer, as I say. She was also not just potentially yes. She was bilingual. She was more than being bilingual. She was more than tri, more than quattro, more than cinco. Or was she more than cinco? No, I think she was cinque-lingual. I think she spoke 5 languages, including Ruthenian, which I thought was interesting. And she was one of the founding members of the Ruthenian Society. So if you're interested in Ruthenians, I've never really looked into Ruthenians, then she's a character you might want to do a bit more investigating about yourself. And just around the corner from the Ladies' Museum, which is on H. Dimitrov Street, we have one of several synagogues in Chernivtsi, which surprised me. Obviously, a considerable number of Jewish people must have lived here. Art Banditka, a lady artist then, perchance. Oh, the gate is open. It's the central synagogue. As I say, there are several in Chernivtsi. This one is the central one. There are people attending to business. So, under the circumstances, I won't go and try and have a peek inside, because when people are trying to do their spiritual business, I feel rather an interloper. I obviously am. And obviously, if I had the camera rolling, I would be. So I try to limit my interloping. I do interlope, I know. I do go into various places sometimes museums, sometimes churches, and Sometimes I feel more bold than other times about just entering places, which of course are going to have people in there who look bemused. What's the man doing talking to himself with his arm out? What's that crappy little camera in his hand? Why is he filming? He's a stranger. I didn't go to school with him. I don't know him. He's speaking in a foreign tongue. He could be dangerous. Some very nice purple flowers here. Shame the sun's not out. Guess what? I checked the forecast. Guess what it said? You know by now, don't you? Thunderstorms and rain. Let sleeping cats lie. Oh, another one of those fresh drinking water vending machines. I'm a big fan of these. And again, I can be a fan of things without actually taking advantage of them. But I think it's a better option than collecting water from the air conditioning unit. Even if you boil it, I wouldn't really feel like having that for my tea, would you? The hostel's here where my thumb is, and you just turn left and keep walking down this road. You cross over a black line, which maybe, well, we'll see what the black line is. Is it a railway track? I don't know. And then you just carry on, and there are the two big cemeteries. Couldn't be any easier. I like it when it looks all straightforward, and it turns out to be straightforward. We get a chance to stroll through the not so glamorous part of Chernivtsi. Like every city, there are the glamorous streets, and there are the not so glamorous. And sometimes, you know, it's the not so glamorous which look the most interesting. What's all this about then? I don't know. Shall we go and have a look? Will I get into trouble? There's nothing on the map. Let's have a look. Well, the answer is not too much there. To be frank, just the big office building. But I was curious. You know, these forgotten steps may have led to a forgotten palace. You never know unless you actually take the trouble to check these things out. And if they're not on the map, that makes them even more enticing, doesn't it? Better keep our eyes out for Mr. Whiskers here. I find the unrepaired pavements quite charming in a way. And oftentimes I can reason that, yeah, it's because of all the trees. Because of the trees being planted, there are so many of them that the roots grow and they cause the pavements to get broken up. When there are no trees, no tree roots, then must be down to something else. Global warming? Isn't it more interesting than those sterile, straightforward city walks and country walks where everything is perfect? It's all laid out for you, can't go wrong. Easy peasy, and it's where millions have gone before. Up. Double check the map. There's not supposed to be something looking interesting over there. Do you ever have those strange moments when you see something from a distance as a tourist? It's a dome. Okay, that looks interesting. When I get to the corner, I'll turn it and I'll be closer and I'll see more of it because it will be less obscured by the building currently in front of me. You turn the corner and it's gone. Very strange indeed. Anyways, I think I'm walking up a street called Zelina. Dekabrisliv on the street on the left, and then the other one, the Kashinivska on the right. Oh, it's looking good. I think I can see the big cemetery on the right. So I have been walking up the right street. This is Zelina. Good-o. G'day, g'day. Best to leave sleeping dogs to lie as well, I think. The camera's doing all kinds of weird things to me again, trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. As if. Big, looks like a fruit, maybe fruit and veg shop behind me. Well, I say shop, looks like a warehouse. But here, this is where we want to be. At least it's where I want to be. And one day I might be in a place like this or something similar, I suppose, like all of us. Or not. It helps when you know your onions. And if you want some onions, if you don't want to go into the huge whacking girt flipping heck, how big is that warehouse for your fruit and vegetables? You can get your onions over here. Because there's a man who knows his onions and he also knows his taters. But I'm heading this way. Best laid plans, hey? Oh, smart guy. Oh yeah, he's going to the cemetery. He's checked it out on Street View. Well, good for him. Isn't he Mr. Know-It-All? Yep. You saw the padlock. No, I just feel stupid. Right. Was there a plan B? Not really. Didn't really have a plan B. I can only admire from a distance. There are some people tending to a couple of graves in there, some ladies with headscarves. You know, the type of, dare I use the word, babushkas? Those type of ladies who are doing some hoeing. Can I use that word? They're doing something with trowels, or maybe they are using a hoe, a handheld hoe. I don't know. They got in somehow. I doubt if they climbed the fence. You wouldn't want to catch the hem of your skirt on this, would you? They look sharp. It's as close as we're going to get. Unless all hope isn't dashed and for some reason they've opened an alternative side entrance to let the workers in, if nothing else. Wouldn't hold out too much hope. Nice looking place, but there may not be anything extraordinary for the idly curious, such as myself. Wholesalers, eat your heart out and eat all the fruit and veg you can. And cheeky blighters could gain access if they wished. If they wanted to go in that way and break the law. But you know how I feel about breaking the law. It's not me. No, you're not. You're not getting what you want on this occasion, lazy tourist. Can't always have what you want. Well, this has all the makings of a fascinating video, doesn't it? What shall I call it? From little acorns, or from fully grown trees, tree stumps remain. No, that doesn't sound very catchy. Oh, I'm supposed to check what's trending on YouTube, aren't I? What's trending on WhatsApp and TikTok? Are still people using TikTok? Other than the Chinese, I mean.